Cam Heyward's here, one of the best defensive players of his generation. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. Just enjoying this, hot
Beautiful Latrobe day.
Yeah, this is what Latrobe's all about.
So, when Aaron Rodgers signed here, my first thought was like, he's going to love training camp because it's almost very Green Bay in the sense that it's very community focused. It's it's unlike any other training camp experience.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Latrobe, Pennsylvania?
Besides the fact that it's a tropical location right now, I think, my favorite thing is just bonding with teammates.
Yeah.
I think it really is an advantage for us when we get to bond and get to know each other. Half of the team is brand new, so this is the perfect time to get to know them.
It's an art that's died last decade, let's say.
Yeah.
When you're talking about going away for camp and teams are building these huge facilities and they want to spend the money there, and so they spend August and all that stuff at home. What does going away to camp mean to you, and what's the value in it?
You've seen the movie Remember the Titans.
I have.
That's where they come together, right? And
you have
so, it really brings back those moments of like high school where you get maybe a week, or college where you just focus on each other. And it's so valuable in today's games because everybody's always on their phones and everybody's got a million things going on. Now you got NIL from college. So like to get this time as professionals, really hone your craft, but also see how guys have gotten here, it's pretty special.
Aaron Rodgers, just as a defender, watching him, the hardest thing about defending Aaron Rodgers is what?
Oh, hardest thing. For a defensive lineman, I think is staying on side. He's got a He's got a very sneaky hard count. But as a defender, holding your disguise because the dude is he knows every trick in the book, and he's going to make any defender undress the defense.
So he does this, he uses his cadence, he wants the defense to declare. Explain to me what that does to a defensive lineman, or just as a defender. Like it gets you.
You might be slow
antsy.
off the ball.
Okay,
You could be antsy and jump off too early, or you might be slow off the ball. I think he's just messing with rhythm. And as a seasoned quarterback, you can really dictate how fast, how slow you want the game to go.
Right. Obviously, you're a veteran. It's not like you're going to do wholesale changes to your game, but is there one thing right now on July 29th, July 30th, we're just like, okay, I'm specifically working on this to get better for 2025?
I think one is just being more, being better with my pass rush, mixing it up a little bit more. But then also another big thing for me is just create more turnovers. I have one of the best defenders in the league that creates turnovers, and I'm never too proud to ask questions and see if I can add anything to my game.
Explain something about TJ Watt that I wouldn't know unless you're there with him all the time, that you wouldn't, just a common person would not understand.
I think just the way he studies. He's always looking up plays from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He's having a lot of there's a lot that goes into his film study, and that explains why he's so damn great.
There's so much this year. I was going on TV in like June, and they were like, the Steelers are all in. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so, guys. Like, you're not trading first-round picks. You're not doing a bunch of void years on your deals. Like, that's the expectation every year. When you hear that, do you kind of laugh? Like, you guys are trying to compete every single year. It's not like a team where you're mortgaging the future, or it's like some teams don't want to win the Super Bowl every year. Here, the expectation is Super Bowl every year. So explain, when you hear the phrase, the Steelers are all in, what you feel? I've
been all in for 15 years. So I don't think really anything changes. It's a new cast, but the ultimate goal is always a Super Bowl. I don't think I've ever went into a season and said, we don't have a shot at it. We've had teams that have thrived a little bit more than others, but the goal is still the same every year.
We talked to Bobby Wagner yesterday, and I asked him, he's been in the league so long, I said, what's the biggest difference between offenses when he came into the league and now? And he gave a really interesting answer about the rise, how the offensive coordinator is the brains, not the quarterback. It used to be the quarterback would sit back there, one of our bosses would sit back there and dice you up. Now in a lot of places, it's the offensive coordinator who's making those decisions, kind of scheming that stuff up. From your perspective, obviously playing a different position, Bobby's a linebacker, you're a defensive lineman. What's been the biggest change for you from offense since you came into the league to now?
I think the biggest change, it's not even really a change, it's just offense is very cyclical. Everybody thinks you need these pass-happy offenses until you get to the playoffs where running games take over. And, we're starting to get back to the focus of having that solid running game. You have a Derrick Henry, you have a Christian McCaffrey, you have a Saquon Barkley. It relieves a lot of stress on not only the quarterback, but the entire team. If an offensive line can run the ball, it keeps your defensive line fresh. And it allows your offense to just play more free. So, I just think it's funny how we go through these patterns.
Yes.
The OCs do play a big part, but if you can have balance in this game, it makes you very deadly.
A couple quick hitters for you. Number one, hardest quarterback to actually get on the ground.
Lamar.
Why?
He's slippery back there. He's a magician with the ball, and he'll make lightning strike twice if he can, or 3 times.
Even when he's wrapped up, right?
Even when he's wrapped up. I know a lot of people talk about Josh Allen and what he's able to do, but Lamar is dynamic and just, quick to speed, and you got to be really cognizant of your lanes.
From whether it's trash talking, whether it's cadence, whether it's funny, whatever you want to say, quarterback, who's the most entertaining quarterback to be lined up across from?
I still think Phil Rivers is one of the best ones. Phil was always talking to somebody's ear. He actually knew one of my neighbors, so he tried to talk my ear off about that in the middle again. I'm like,
wait, what's your neighbor's name?
I'm not even going to go into it. I'm not even going to do that because I might get in trouble.
I don't want to get in trouble. So he just starts talking about your neighbor, and you're like, what's going on?
I'm like, how did this even happen? But, Phil's always trash talking somebody.
All right, 2 more for you. We do it every episode. It's called Badass. It's the most badass teammate you ever had. Could be any level of football. Who are you going with?
Badass teammate. Oh, man, I've had most badass teammate. Man, I got so many. I think the most badass teammate, I'll probably go. I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings,
Of course.
but I'm gonna go. Damn, this is such a hard one. I'll say. Does it have to be current, or you want?
Nope. Could be all time.
All time. I guess I'm just playing the hits. I'll go Troy Polamalu.
Tell me why Troy Polamalu is such a badass. And we saw the film, we watched the games, but just
we were talking about it. The best thing was after Troy would make a big hit, he's always praying for him, and it's like, man, he's not even screaming over you. He's just praying for you and hoping you get up. So I think that's pretty badass.
Last thing, we call it one rep back. One play, your entire career, again, any level of football, you could redo. If you get the chance, we get a time machine, you get to redo it, do it differently. What are you going with?
I think my first interception, because I got no yards and I just went down. I would like to get that back and definitely.
Who was the quarterback?
Daniel Jones versus the Giants. It was a great play. It was like a long drive. But I just caught it in the air, and everybody's like, you just let it, fall to the breadbasket. But I wish I would have just caught it and ran and picked up some yards.
Cameron Heyward, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.